Welcome to the show, everyone. I'm Sherri Horner, your host at healthfitnessbroadcast.com, bringing you the latest health issues and the hottest fitness topics. Today we have a success story, and joining me from Ventnor, New Jersey, is Dr. Barbara Stein. Welcome back to the show, Barbara.
Thank you. It's great to be back, and we're going to have fun like we always do.
Yes, absolutely. Have so much fun. So today's Dr. Barbara is going to share her amazing weight loss success story.
Yeah.
She's been on the show before. It's been quite a few years, but she was on to share some benefits of chiropractic care. And first, I want to ask you to promise you will come back in the near future so we can talk about those benefits again.
I would love to.
Okay, all right,
And
great.
show the difference, because every time it's going to be a thinner, more healthy me.
Yes, absolutely. So your amazing weight loss has inspired a lot of people and will continue. How much weight have you lost?
So far, 84 pounds with 40 more to reach my goal.
Wow.
84 pounds down.
Wow, that's great. That is great. Before we talk about how you did it successfully, I want to talk briefly and share about you are a doctor of chiropractic care. Many people in the medical fields, nurses, physicians. I have interviewed a lot of people in the fitness industry also that are caregivers, and we're in the business of helping people be healthy, get healthier, stay healthy, and we sometimes get off track ourselves. And people on the outside, I say outside, people that are not in the health, fitness, or wellness fields, I have heard them also say, how could she be a doctor and be overweight? How can he be a physician and not exercise? How can she be a trainer and gain that much weight? So I hear it from both sides, but I know that you're such an inspiration to those professionals. And for anyone else listening that has asked that question, how could that be if they're so promoting health and fitness? How could they gain weight? But when you're in that position, and I'll share this and you can share more, that when you are taking care of people, and we have to remember to take care of ourselves, take that time to focus on ourselves. But when you have an overloaded schedule and it's patient after patient after patient, and you get off track, you have not 1 minute for yourself to exercise, and you have to eat whatever is there, grab and go. So people in the fitness industry and medical industry do have those struggles just like everyone else, meal planning and time planning for exercise and those struggles. So tell me, how did you do that? Well, first of all, if you can, Barbara, I don't want to tell the whole story, but if you can tell how your schedule and everything that happened in your personal life that kind of led you to go off track.
Right. We're all so busy. Our society is so fast-paced, rush, rush, stress, stress. And we get caught up in it. And our bodies build up in free radicals. You throw off free radicals with the more stress you have. And it's just a grind day after day. On the weekends, we try to make up for lost time, and we still are running and running. So it is easy to not think about your own health. And being a healthcare provider, like any other nurse or doctor or anybody else, you worry more about your patients than you do yourselves until you look in the mirror, or you somehow look at yourself objectively and you know what to do to get healthy and to be healthy. And you realize, I'm so far off base. And for me, I felt, how can I expect people to be drawn to me as good as a doctor, as good as a chiropractor, as good a chiropractor as I am? I can't expect people to fully accept what I have to offer if I'm not mirror imaging what's in my knowledge base and what I can do for them. If I don't show them, not just tell them, they're not going to get on as healthy and as good as a path as I want them on.
Right.
So I decided what is it that I'm so resistant about? How do I start making changes? And then I realized that's the answer. Make a change. Don't overwhelm yourself. Just make one change under the guidance of some kind of healthcare professional, so you know the change you're making is a change that's worthwhile to focus on and that's going to do the most, have the most benefits for you in your personalized routine. So you have to pick your first change, something that you can commit to and follow through with and focus on. And that's your one change. And you get a sense of it's only one thing. So everybody can handle one change.
Right.
It's not overwhelming.
Right.
Every change you make has a cascade effect and causes you to make other healthy changes as well. So it's just, how do I get started? That's your answer. Get started. Just do something.
That's good. Anybody can do anything for 1 minute is what I
Well,
tell so many people. And a funny story real quick. One lady said, well, if anybody can do anything for 1 minute, when you fly for 1 minute, let me know because I want to see it. But
hey, I can do that. Just you're at zero gravity at the top. You're flying.
yeah, yeah.
Not a
So
minute, but
getting started, and you mentioned under the guidance of a healthcare professional, and with that, I take it you're saying don't just jump into something full force, but get
yeah.
a checkup and always consult a physician
Right.
before you start an exercise program or a weight loss program.
Also, my experience with the weight loss focus is when I say to a patient, what's the one thing that you think you do that's the worst thing that you can get a hold of? They don't have the experience to know the right choice to make to change first. And they'll pick things like, all right, I'm not going to do any more bread. Well, that's not it. Bread is not it. It's simple carbs. It's a more, vast than that people think, okay, well, a good one is I'm going to switch from sodas and juices to only water. That's a good one. So some people hit the mark and some people don't. And I think that's the most important aspect of doing it with somebody who knows the anatomy and physiology of what you're trying to accomplish. Because, okay, you'll make a choice and you'll feel good, but it might not, if you don't do it and make the right choice, you're kind of not quite getting the most benefits out of your efforts. And then again, just like trying a diet and it doesn't work, it's not going to work for you.
Right. So seeking out a nutritionist, fitness trainer, and physician.
Yeah. Or me.
Or yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, before we go further, I just want to talk about Dr. Barb. She is Doctor of Chiropractic care, and she started 10 years ago in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and that's where we met. And you were on the show in 2005, I think. And then you moved your practice to King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. And then now you're back in Ventnor, New Jersey, your hometown, where you're about to open your practice. So I will have her contact information below. So if you would like to contact her and get more information about how she lost her weight, some tips and I don't want to say tricks, but some tips. And
something.
Yeah, so I'll have her information below and you can contact her. So this is the before.
This was my passport picture, so everybody should know this wasn't doctored. This is a legal document, and this is still valid. So in the time before this expired, I went from this to a much more leaner cut face, and in another 40 pounds, you'll see the cheekbones come, and you'll see more of the. If you can see, there's a big fat no neck.
That's amazing. What was the date?
Open, but
when
shut.
Did you start? Did you like mark it on a calendar? Can you remember back when the month that you started making changes, the small changes that you talked about?
Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight. There's no quick result. I started hitting this fairly seriously. I'm going to say 2010. Okay. 2009, 2010 in that.
So you lost the weight safely, successfully. Yeah. And so taking us back to that, when you first started making that one change, do you remember what it was?
My first change, it was like miraculous. I said to myself, I know what's in fast food. My work was here. Burger King was here. McDonald's was here. And this was my office in King of Prussia.
Yeah.
And on the way to work, I would pick up breakfast at McDonald's every morning. And on the way, and it was like, sausage, egg, biscuit with a hash brown and orange juice. So It sounds good, but it's definitely not healthy for a multitude of reasons. And then on the way back home, I'm going to say 3 days out of the week, I would stop and pick up Burger King in the other direction if I was too tired to cook. My first change was no more fast food. What am I doing? Why is it such a big part of my life? No more. It wasn't that I didn't still pick up food on the way to work, but it was no fast food chains. I went to a diner, a mom and pop diner, and picked up oatmeal or scrambled eggs, or I would start to cook myself breakfast, which is much healthier because then you're doing healthy, complex carbs first thing in the morning with fruit. I would do quinoa with all kinds of fruit in it. I would do brown rice, you know. You start making the changes to accommodate the one change. In 1 month, I got on the scale. In 1 month of my first change, and no matter what the first change is, this is the result for heavier people. I lost 22 pounds.
Awesome.
I didn't try to lose weight. I just tried to make a change.
Good.
To get a healthier lifestyle. And every patient I've done this with, no matter what that first change is, because your first change is going to be big, it's going to be the most inspired. You're so jazzed about this, and everybody loses about 17 to 22 pounds in that first month.
And that will keep you going. That will definitely keep you motivated.
It's inspiring, and then you're eager to make the next change. And then the next change you make won't be as difficult or as important to you as the first change. You make a smaller change the second month.
So you noticed that weight loss in the first month because obviously you weighed yourself because you had a number, but you were feeling much better way before you weighed yourself, I'm sure.
More energy, yeah. My thought processes were much better, efficient, and my short-term memory increased. And this is because of, well, for me, that first change, there's so many bad things for you in fast food that affect these parts of your anatomy that you don't even think about.
Right.
Your glucose, which brain function, your brain needs glucose for food, for energy. Right. So if you're not getting healthy, levels of what the brain needs or what the body needs to make energy, so it makes a big change. Everything will make you feel so much better along with losing weight.
So did you focus on the weight loss as far as the number on the scale, or measurements, and or both, or just feeling really
I didn't
good?
Focus on measurements at all. My focus was, I want to lose weight. I want to look better to the world around me. Fat people are treated not as well as thinner people. We're not perceived as, we don't matter as much, no matter how much we matter. And we know we're special and great people, but just because you're not fit, you will not get that communication in a relaxed form with people that you want. It just is. People have a perception of fat people, no matter how brainy you are or how, you're not given that same respect.
Yeah,
and I'm single and I'm dating and I want to find a nice guy. So for me, it was all about appearance and weight loss and showing my patients that I can do it. Right. But mostly my focus was weight loss. But you can't weigh yourself more than once every 3 weeks to a month.
That's right. That's right. You just read my mind. Same thing. Don't focus on that number, because when you're feeling great and you're slimming down, your clothes are feeling better, you have more energy, and your thought process is clear, and then you step on the scale. I've seen this a million times, and people say, "What? I've only lost 2 pounds in the last 2 weeks. That's not enough." And then they get discouraged, and so they're like, "Oh, I don't want to say a bad word. Oh, blank," and then just go get that Burger King or McDonald's, and and they think it's all over. But again, that would be my tip if I could throw it in there. Don't weigh yourself.
It's very obvious with my patients that have migraines. This is a great bullet point. Yeah. What you eat today, your body won't fully process or respond to or get the results of until 2 to 3 days down the road. When I have migraine patients, not only do you free up the nerves that cause the migraines, but there's dietary triggers. Mm-hmm. So you have to eliminate one whole group of nutrition, and it has to be done for 2 weeks to see if the migraines will go away. And then you do a day of reintroducing it, and then 3 days later they may get a migraine. And
Hmm.
in 2 weeks, they didn't get it. So it's a real great, measure for you cannot weigh yourself every day and the scale is responding to something you did 2 days ago. It doesn't work.
Right.
You're setting yourself for failure. You got to set yourself up for success. You
You're
weigh yourself 3 weeks to a month and you put, and it doesn't require a lot of effort. It's
right.
just concentration. It's
Right.
not
So,
hard to do.
so you started in 2010. You lost the weight successfully, and what were some other changes that you made? Little changes at a time is what you
Well,
suggest.
not only am I resistant to dieting because dieting just makes me want to eat more for some reason. I have a fat mentality.
That's what
But
a lot of people think. Diet makes them want to
yeah,
go the other way.
yeah. So exercise has to be in there somewhere. After the first month, when you made that first change and you're feeling good about yourself, walk 15 minutes away from your house in any direction, turn around and go back. Because the key is a half an hour of uninterrupted exercise in the beginning, 4 days a week, at least 4 days a week, which is great for people that have dogs or pets you can walk.
Oh,
Take your animal 15 minutes in one direction. They'll be so happy. Turn
mhm.
around and go home. You do this for every change you make, you live with for a month
Good tip.
before you do something else. That's why it's a slow, but it's a successful process.
Right.
You
Permanent.
have to commit to your changes. And then that's huge. When I started walking, I had a dog at the time. My dog was obese and I was 250 pounds. So I noticed my dog getting a little bit of a waist. So it was good for both of us.
Yes, absolutely. So let me ask you, Barb, what about your family? I mean, did they say, "Wow, you're pretty amazing"? And did you have an influence on them? Did they get on board with healthier eating and exercise?
Unfortunately, when you are in any kind of medical school, they will tell you all the way through school, you hear your worst patients are your friends and family and people that know you the best. And it's funny
Mm,
because they are the impetus for us making changes, trying to lead by example. They do, my friends and family, unfortunately, they're encouraged, but just like I was, it doesn't last. But my patients and people
yes.
that don't know me and I can show, hey, look, here's before, here's after. I'm putting pictures up all over my office of different stages of obvious weight loss. There's one wall. And I want to take a picture of that and I'm going to put it on outside the office too. And those are
Great.
the people. People that want to do it are going to do it. People that don't really in their heart want to make a change, unfortunately, the world could change around them and they're not going to pay attention.
You're so right. You're so right. So we have a
I
couple
pray
minutes left.
to
Do
win.
you have one more tip that might just really turn someone around and make a difference? One tip that they could do to get them turned around on the right road. What's that tip?
The most encouraging thing that I could say is any, I'm just going to say it, depression goes away. Depression eases up and starts to go away, and you start feeling better mentally. Along with obesity or, a poor body image comes depression.
Mhm.
And it's the elephant in the room that nobody will talk about, and everybody who's big has it. And it makes you happier.
Yeah, that's a good tip because I guess you get in that circle, that revolving door of feeling bad about yourself, doing other
Yeah,
things that's going to make you feel worse, and then not being able to get out of that. But get going for that first 30 days. You'll
yeah.
lift up out of that and you'll want to do more good things. That's a good tip.
And the key is not to tax yourself. People get so excited. They want to wake up
Mm-hmm.
one morning and go, okay, I'm not just going to make one change. I'm not
Right.
listening to her. I'm going to do this and this too.
Yeah, that's
That
right.
if you
You
try
said
to
it
do
so
too
well.
much too soon, you go back into that pattern of giving up.
Well, thank you for sharing your story and all your motivating tips. Because I love to talk with people that share their success story, that do it on their own with no tricks and gimmicks and
To
quick
spend a lot of
weight
money,
loss.
to go to special class. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. And before we go, I want you to show Sherri your shoe. Show me your favorite shoe, Dr. Barb.
Well, these aren't necessarily my favorite, but they're the ones that are the best for me, and I wear
Okay.
them as much as I can, and they come in all different colors. They're called Sole, Sole. And here's why I love them. They come with the layer here is black. Can you see that? That layer is black, and it's extra reinforcement wherever anybody's foot would need it. So it's extra reinforcement at the ball of your foot, extra at the dip dent in the bottom, and then the arch and the back of the heel. Everywhere where there's pressure when you're weight bearing. The more you wear the shoe, it forms to your foot. So it is an orthotic casted for you by you over wearing over time. So the more you wear it,
Awesome.
the better it is for your individual foot. I love these.
Oh, I
I
love
will be selling
those
them in my
too.
office. Not yet, but I will.
I want a pair. I want a pair of
Aren't
those.
these great? All different
Yes,
colors.
absolutely.
I like the sky blue, but they come in brown, black, tan, pink, everything. And
Oh,
men and women
sweet.
size.
I like that. Well, my shoe for today is something similar. This is a Skechers Tone Up. Now, they are a couple years old, and I think they were designed to, help tone you while you walk, but I don't
Right.
wear them for that. I exercise for that, but I like them because same thing. They're very supportive, but
Uh-huh.
yet they're very cushiony. So love them, and
They
they
have
have a
a little bling on
sparkle.
them.
Little shine, little S for Sketcher,
Look
but
at
I
that.
say it's S for Sherri. So this is my shoe for today. My little shiny
Like a
Skechers.
shoe for shorter people or for people who like to elongate their legs and look leggier.
Hmm.
That has a nice heel to it.
Yeah, yeah, and I am short, so it does help me feel tall. So I
Yeah.
want to say thanks again, Dr. Barb, for sharing your story and inspiring and motivating so many people to take those little changes one at a time. And you will come back and we'll talk about chiropractic care next time. Yeah?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Would
and I
love
will have your contact information in the description box. So if anyone wants to contact Dr. Barb, ask her anything about her weight loss success story.
maybe we could
And
do a live show from my office.
yes, yes, we'll do that.
Opening
Ventnor,
grand opening or
Ventnor,
something.
New Jersey. She's opening her practice there any day now. And I want to let you know if you have a success story, a weight loss success story, a health recovery story, a unique fitness achievement story, you can contact me at healthfitnessbroadcast.com and share your story right here. Thanks. Thanks, Barb. We'll catch you next time.
My pleasure. Have